Hello, everybody that I guess in X days that I'm probably going to post this video to. I just got a bunch of crazy questions and misinformation on the on my messenger service for my guild. So since I'm on a level 20 wizard right now, I'm going to open up the enhancements tree to show everybody exactly what I was just talking about and show feats along the way. So I have opened this up, I guess maybe first character sheet, just so that they can understand. We're going to get this video done in like 7 minutes. Here we go. My main Matak is a Wizard 20 Gnome. Alignment does not matter. Chaotic Good. I pick Chaotic Good just because I think it usually fits my style the best. Um, or who I am, but that's all up to you. Starting stats, of course, because it is Gnome, max out intelligence, start at 20, dump all your points into intel. Uh, you're going to need that stat primarily for your reflex saves later. I am taking insightful reflexes on any of the builds, Pale Master or Archmage. On any of these two builds, I would take insightful reflexes. Does not matter. Then Constitution. Max out Constitution on there. You need hit points. Then, if you have extra points and you are a legendary build, probably leaning towards dexterity. Dump the rest in there, but that's up to you. Put them wherever you want. I don't even. Some people even like to put them into charisma so they get a little higher UMD. Again, wizards are not charisma based, so they don't usually have the best UMD use magic device skill. That's another way to do it. Mine's 8. I didn't even bother with that. I know that I can get that up high enough. Now, all right, this build is the Pale Master 5th tier. I've opened up the window. All in on the 5th tier of the Pale Master up here because I am going as a crowd control. I am on this side. Now, the last focus up here uh, could go either way. It shows an ascendant shroud. And what it means is if you are in a specific form, you will gain the following bonuses. I'm in Lich, and it's because of the 10 negative spell power while in Lich, the plus 10 cold and electric resistance, and the 5% spell cost less to cast. If I went over to Vampire, I would get an additional +1 on my enchantment DC. So I am still one down, from a Vampire form on this. But I just felt like the bonuses for the Lich were a little bit better for me. You can see what the tier looks like. Along the way, level 3, you get to pick your form. This is where I picked Lich. And I took it all the way up to the end. And if you read the end, the whole reason for being in Pale Master as a crowd control wizard is you get a passive bonus here called Embrace the Void. Not only do you get the death clicky for a healing aura, greater death aura, but the passive bonus is another +4 to intelligence and +2 to spell penetration for crowd control. That is just what takes it over the top, in my opinion. Now, there could be people that argue with me. I don't. That's okay. That's okay. If you want to build it a different way, fine. The Archmage tree, yes, I did put 28 points into it. And it was to get these extra bonuses to elemental and force damage types, and to get enchantment focus holds down here. It starts at level at the beginner level right here. Your first enchantment, crowd control hold is an SLA. It's hypnotism. If you go into the crowd control version, if you went into an evocation archmage, this would start out as force clickies. So you could just spam really cheap force spells. I think you get like chain missiles, magic missile, and other things as you work your way up. Now, I didn't max out this tier all the way, and you can see my last um, bottom, my last couple of bottom enhancements. If I had taken them, was a single hold monster for enchantment, where I, as a crowd control caster, enjoy uh, the mass hold monster version as a spell. It costs me more, but I have a larger target. I'm not just single hitting. I'm hitting everything in that area, spamming it. If you did the Archmage, you would be on this side, on this tier, all the way up for this arcane supremacy. This is their greatest asset in the game compared to other classes, is this 10% chance to trigger arcane supremacy with your offensive spells, and it's a huge multiplier. A 25% spell crit chance and 100% spell critical damage multiplier when it goes off. It goes off all the time because you're spamming force missiles. Every force missile has a chance to trigger that effect. It's huge damage. So that's the difference. This would all be maxed out right up here to the 5th tier on the bottom. You could probably get up to the 4th tier with your points and be in whatever undead form you want, and only take this to the 4th tier and still be viable. You'd still have your own spell clickies for heals if you were undead. But you're much more focused on damage and not hold in this tree. I mean, I think, I delved up to get that spell penetration from the Archmage tree. I need that for those crowd control holds. You're not really using it that much as a spammer, as a damage dealer. But okay, I'll look at feats. If I can find it. Here we go. Feats. I think I just went over this with everybody, and I know that some of these feats, like if you just started out as a wizard, you would not be able to get. Um, I took the Arcane Initiate. I've had 3 lies of this wizard before, and if you take this, it's giving you an additional +1 to all of your I don't know if that's passive or not. Hold on. No, just because I did it, it's giving me a +3 to the DCs of all my spells. Doesn't matter if it's enchantment or whatever else. I just took it just because I had an extra feat, and I can get 10 more force missiles. They're down here on the lower left. That's up to you. That's completely up to you. And I also have completionist. So in that means that on a first life or second or third or whatever, a non-heroic completionist, you have a different feat to substitute from that list. So In that regard, this is sometimes where I've stated that I thought that the completionist as a feat was actually a hindrance rather than a bonus because feats are so important. In this meta magic thing here, I only have the maximized spell on a crowd control wizard. I have used the rest of the feats to raise the caster level of those enchantment spells. Now, if you focused more on as being a damage dealer, uh, you are substituting some feats and taking the ones that will maximize your damage output instead. This maximized spell is a given if you're going to be doing this tree on the fifth tier. The other spellcasting feats down here that I was talking about, four spell points, mental toughness and improved mental toughness. You might even come up and take the next one, the next epic mental toughness on here, uh, giving you a bigger spell pool uh, for mass spell casting. I mean, if you're a damage dealer spammer, you want to cast as fast as possible, as much shit as you could possibly throw out there. Uh, I have taken for the crowd control version the spell focus enchantment, the spell penetration feats. Um, you don't need spell penetration that much if you're doing mass damage. You need to worry about the raw number of the evocation um, DC or dice check. Most of the damage dealing spells that uh, a wizard or sorcerer run are evocation. Uh, I have focused on cold as the primary damage type. I have set up uh, this particular hotbar right here. I got my circle around it, or I am circling my mouse around it, with all of the related cold only spells. Polar Ray, Ice Storm, the new Iceberg spell, Kona Cold. I didn't put in slot in Nyax Biting Cold, which is a damage over time yet. I'm probably going to do that soon here. Just got to 20 and respecking. And the Frostlance. I love Frostlance. This thing. All right. Insightful Reflexes. This is what's helping you reflex save if I could find it. I have no idea where they hide everything now. I did not go into dodge or anything like that. Another option if you don't have completionist, certainly. You wear primarily light armor. Uh, you get a chance to either light armor or cloth robes. Uh, you get a chance to then dodge and get a reflex save in cloth or robes. Why can I not find that feat? Did I not even take it? Defensive? Is that a defensive feat? There it is. Insightful reflexes. This adds your intelligence modifier to reflex saves instead of your dex modifier. Kind of important. God, does this suck? All right, I think that's going to be the end of my rundown. I wanted to keep this short so that you were not confused and to hurry up and try to get the video out. I wouldn't worry about the spell focus enchantment if you were going to go damage dealer. I would take spell focus evocation uh, on the other side. That would help the save on a lot of these damage related spells. And then did not want to bore everybody with the rest of the layout of the hotbars or whatever. As a matter of preference, I have set up this area with a couple of the spells that do damage to undeads specifically, so that I don't accidentally cast on the living. Uh, this bottom bank is random spells right here that, I might use. I have a Cloud Kill loaded in there. I've always liked Cloud Kill with Web as a combination, even though I'm not primarily Acid spec. Uh, this is devastating to living mobs. I have loaded a bank up here with insta kills, Finger Death, Circle of Death, Phantasmal Killer. I have loaded a bank here with buffs and debuffs, or mostly debuffs for people. Crushing Despair as a crowd control caster. Hypnotize, Hypnotism. I did put in Feeble Mind. I don't like that spell so much. Uh, it's yeah, it's got a high save on it right now for level 20 at 64. Causes their intelligence and charisma levels each to drop by 1, but I can spam this so quick, dragging mobs down. Intelligence and charisma don't matter so much for the types of saves. Will, fortitude is based on con. Will save is based on wisdom. Something I might substitute out. I've also loaded ways of fatigue because it is a necromancy spell. Uh, this will give a -2 penalty to strength and dexterity. If my holds are not working, like web, I delve into these 4 spells to dig in to overcome their spell resistances or why they're succeeding on saves if I have to. Most of the time, it's okay to just come in and raw and cast web or mass hold monster, and it works. So that's how that works. This is all holds on this bank. All holds or charms or whatever. Uh, the rest is boosts. You know, same thing. This Reveler's Regalia. I'm going to use this once I know that it's high time for me to start doing damage. Once everything's safe. I would use this all the time on this build on the arcane side. All gear that we've gone over in previous videos. So, I mean, that's it. I think that's the end of this video. I hope that you can grasp the concept of either build. I love them both. They're both viable, both fun, self-healing. Have a nice Turkey Day.